Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. So, I pressed my little button, so hopefully, yes. So welcome. It's it's been a while. It's been a while, everybody. I know I've been busy. You got to go where spirit moves you, and spirit has moved me into uh wow. Never thought I'd be doing this again, but we'll see. I'm taking over a position full time at Save on Foods as um their Starbucks person. Believe it or not, I know some people don't like Starbucks. But you know what? That's where I am right now. I saw some posts the other day, about Starbucks and condemning it and stuff. Whatever. It is what it is. But I'm there. I'm back at Starbucks. So I'm working Monday through Friday. And so that kind of puts a real curveball into other things that I was doing. I'm still doing readings. My weekends and stuff with people. I've been booking people in on the weekends. And the only thing I haven't been consistent on is doing my lives, which I so miss because so much has gone on. Oh my gosh. It's interesting, because I've been, of course, I do my astrology every day. I've been working on the full moon energies and what's coming in with the full moon. And I mean, just like, okay, Mars is in Mars is in Gemini. Um, Mercury is 2 degrees away from going retrograde next week. Mars is going to be entering shadow. And I've told people you got to be ready. Here it comes, September, October, November. Be ready. Things are going to be crazy. They're going to be chaotic. There's going to be a lot of energy coming in and hitting us and feeling like we're being torn in so many directions. And this is where it's like, the true energy is you got to stay in your heart and you got to stay with peace and love. This energy is tormentive, especially with Mars heading into a shadow, and it's immutable. It's in Gemini, and then with Mercury going retrograde starting in Libra, and then ending up back into Virgo, into its home sign. It's very mercurial, so it's really can affect the mind. And especially when you have, Mars in Gemini, that's a Mercury ruled sign as well. So we have a lot of mind energy coming in, and with Mercury opposing Jupiter, it's a battle. It is a battle for us to really stay in our truth and in our love, and standing with it. And this is where, especially with Archangel Michael coming in very strongly, and he is the leader of God's army. He is, he's the angel with a bazillion abs and a sword. He is the leader to bring forth the love and the truth for for all. And on the flip side is the darkness. I mean, I hate Biden's speech. I don't know if anybody saw it. I know a lot of you guys are Canadians who follow me. But the speech, I mean, just go on Twitter. I know if you go on Twitter, but you're going to be seeing it all over the place on, what his speech. And what he was calling out. And it's just like, wow, wow. He's a Scorpio too. Like he's a Scorpio. And with the South Node in Scorpio and of course we just had a Venus yod and with Neptune and Pluto, it's like this is showing you where is your heart? Where do you want to go? How do you want to connect to your community? And Neptune can take you into delusionment, and Pluto will just be there holding the door if that's where you want to go and say, hey, if this is a lesson you want to learn, hell yeah, go for it. But if the other part of, especially with the yod that we're just coming off, Venus will open the door and say, you could go to delusionment, or do you want to go to your higher self and really stay in the alignment with your divine and your divine self? And that's going to be the truest test that we are going to be going through in the coming months. We're going, especially with a lot of the energies of going into 1938, 1939. I mean, it kind of shakes my head watching things unfold and watching how they unfold, and how the energy is so beautiful. It is that there's some really beautiful positive energy, but the thing is, it means that we have to do the work. It's not the energy that we sit around the campfire and sing kumbaya. Sorry. This is the energy that we come in and we live the truth of who it is that we've come down here to be. This is where we really come into that heart center. And it isn't easy. It isn't easy. Not when you're going to be witnessing the huge divide with people, witnessing how they're still pushing an elixir, and whether it's the pushing the flu shot, um I'm sorry, it's called the flu vaccine, um and pushing other things upon people. And we're it's like you're watching the world go into chaos. That's what you're doing. You're watching the muggles go into chaos, and you're just like, oh my God, are they really, are they, it's like, are they really going to fall for this? Scotland and the UK are coming out with some crazy studies on death rates, and how the death rate is so much higher within the last five, over looking at the death rates over the last year. I mean, they come up to April, are higher than what they have been over the last 5 years, which is scary in itself. That push. I mean, the United States just also came out with a stat that the life expectancy is down to 70 years old. This is where it's like, wow, they're really, how many people fell for this, the craziness, and they haven't really come to the reasoning why many people have died. But it's a lot of young people, the ages between 16 and 24 right now is a very high death rate. That's crazy. It's crazy. And this is where, with the propaganda that's going to be unfolding, especially with Neptune coming in, and he will be opposite Mercury. That's going to bring in some high, crazy information that you really have to, again, now we're coming back into our heart space. This is why I bring this up. It's like, okay, here's the information. Which way am I leading? Which way am I walking? Am I walking towards my light, or am I falling into that crazy illusions? And many who have fallen into the crazy illusions, who are fallen into the propaganda of it all, we're seeing the effects of it. We're witnessing the unfolding of it all. And the more that we are seeing the unfolding of it, of course, it's like, okay, we get scared. We don't want to watch this. We don't want to see this. But we are coming here. We are light workers. We've come here to shine our light. We cannot stay in the dark. And we need to bring the love into more of a heightened area. And as the moon goes into Sagittarius, that's more mutable energy. That means things are going to switch and change very quickly. Sag is the ones who hold people accountable. Like they are the judge, they are the jury. And with Sagittarius, they're going to hold you accountable for things. And with the moon coming into the first quarter square of a waxing, energy, this is where, within Virgo season, this is saying, what are we holding you accountable for? Are you really living your truth of what you are wanting to do? And where Venus right now will be the only planet for about a month going forward, that means Venus has to do with our relationships, has to do with our money, has to do with how we create the world. She is the Nine of Pentacles. It's that beautiful ambiance of this. Look at what I've created. Look at the energy that I have around me. That is Venus. That is that beautiful energy of Venus. And she wants to create, and she rules Taurus, and she rules Libra. And the North Node is in Taurus. So the North Node is saying, where are we going forward in our lives? Where are we going, and what are we creating in our lives? Let's go to our personal lives. And that's where, where's my community? Where's my peeps, And in amongst a world that is going to go crazier, going to go so much crazier. In the States, there is, we are seeing the unfolding of more and more of the unsettling of everything, of the revolution unfolding within it. And we are going to be seeing it in other areas too. We're seeing as a democracy crumble before our very eyes. We're stepping into a territory of drastic change. And this is where, as we go forward, what are we carrying as we go forward in all of this? What are we carrying for our family, our friends, our community as we go forward? And that's what's going to be so, 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 so important. I think it was in 1938 that craziness. Hitler was on Time magazine as Man of the Year, bringing his country together. You know, crazy, crazy, right? Um, but that's the whole thing, is that this is where people have an expectation, or they see this, oh, this is going to be the person that's going to save us, but it's actually the person who disrupts everything. And during World War II, just the nodes were flipped. So the nodes were the south node was in Taurus and the north node was in Scorpio. Now it's opposite, right? Um, so we're seeing things flip. We're seeing things that are flipping. Where Hitler went to jail for an insurrection, and then he wrote his book, Mein Kampf. And we're seeing where there's a president who had an insurrection in a sort of obscure kind of way, who's a Scorpio. Hitler was a Gemini. So it's interesting to see how things are unfolding for us at this time. And I think he was a Scorpio. Just wait. Hang on. April 20th, he was born. So yeah, he was. So this is, the energies of him. Um, just I just shake my head. That's all I'm doing right now, in seeing how things are unfolding in our world right now. And oh, he was a Taurus. Okay, that's right. Okay, thank you. No, he was a Taurus. That's right. Okay, that's how I got the correlation. Sorry. So he's a Taurus. So it's flipped. Biden's a Scorpio. That's what it was. It was thing that I was looking at is that Uranus. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at figuring things out of my head. So there's that flip that's happening within the world, and that's what we're witnessing. A lot of things um, that we're witnessing are kind of flipped. Where we always thought it'd be over there, now it's over here. You think the war might be over there? Maybe not. Maybe the war is going to be fought over here in North America. This is where a lot of things are flipping. Um, for right now in northern Canada, NATO's setting up forces. So we're seeing, these are sort of craziness that we are witnessing to within the world around us, and it's it is it is a preparation time. That's all I gotta say. It's a preparation time, and I think I've been telling you guys that um this whole time. And this is, for preparing the collective. I mean, is very, very important in this whole thing. Here, just wanted to show you this. Oh, see, Adolf Hitler on there. It just, and then show you another picture of his speech last night. It's just mind-boggling, some of the things that are unfolding. So there's Biden's speech last night. And it was all red and black. How scorpionic is that? I was just like, when I saw that, I thought it was a fake post. I actually thought it was a fake post. And I went in and I started to look at it. And it's a hate to be the bearer, of bad news. But the most of this year, I've been preparing people with the astrology that the moment between 1938 and 1939, the pre-World War era would come to fruition, and that's what's coming now. And if you look at what was going on in 1938 and 1939, that was really at the height of the Depression. And we're coming into that, even though that they're trying to hide everything that has to do with inflation and the cost. But I'm working in a grocery store. I'm seeing that prices are going up crazily. And if you see things on sale, buy them. This is where, with I feel like with what Biden did is very disturbing. And the signs cannot be clearer, and we have to pray for a miracle. We have to come into our heart. We have to come into this energy. And when you start seeing a lot to do with a lot of deaths happening, and where things are just with the elixir and information coming about the elixir, uh, more and more about what with people who have taken it, and the effects of not so much, of what's happening now, but what the effects are going to be within less than 5 years with many people, which is quite scary. I'm just looking at some of my notes here with the CDC that just came in. Um, uh, Facts about the mRNA. I'm probably going to get banned for this. Um, COVID-19 vaccines cannot give someone COVID or other illnesses. That's what they were stating. The mRNA do not use any live viruses. That's what they started to state it, and then they came out stating the opposite. That's craziness. Anyways, but that's unveiling the truth. With Pluto in Capricorn, going over this last part of Capricorn, the last degrees, and it's going to be going forward in a little while here, pretty soon. It's coming over this point of, look at, I've been trying to show you the corruption. I've been trying to show you. Have you been listening? Have you been listening? Have you been listening to your heart? Have you been listening to your intuition? And when he goes he goes into Aquarius in 2023, but he retrogrades back, and then he fully goes into Aquarius in I think it's in January of 2024. We haven't lived through that. We haven't lived through a Pluto in Aquarius. That's where we're coming into 1776 energy. And that, what was happening then, people were fighting for their freedom, fighting for their rights, fighting for a new world, and we've heard people talk about the new earth. So we're going to find a lot of people coming in and saying, no, we got to fight for our rights. We got to fight for our children. We got to fight for our farmland. We have to come together, so that we can not have. And that's where Archangel Michael just keeps coming in, saying we've got to stand in our truth and our strength with all of this, because they're going to tell you one thing and then they're going to do something totally different. Stalin came out with a 5-year plan. China came out with a 5-year plan. Now our prime minister wants a 5-year plan. They want a 5-year plan in the United States to get rid of all of combustible cars and go to electric cars. I mean, we're seeing this, and some people are falling for it. It's like, yeah, well, electric. No, I mean, right now in California, they said that they don't want you to do electric cars, right? Yeah, don't plug them in. Don't plug them in. So it's kind of crazy. And so information is there. It's just a lot of times I think people just want to take the easy road. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy not to stand up and say something. It's easy because you don't want to have fingers pointed at you. You don't want to be that odd person out. There's a picture of Hitler giving a speech, and it's a very where one guy's sitting there. It's like, there's no way he's going to raise his hand to Hitler. There's no way. And it's that courage of saying, no, we're not going to go that way. We're not going to go that way. And evil always loses. They always lose. But it takes us where humans, has to remember their truth. We get lost. We get lost in craziness and consumption and ooh, look at, and it's so easy. Look at all this, and we can create all of this, and we can have this and this and this, and become these crazy consumers, but forget that the thing that we are supposed to be consuming is joy, is love, is blissfulness. Those are the things that we are to be consuming. And we have lost our way. And in order, unfortunately, for humanity, for humans, the way that has to get it back is we have to have everything blown up in our face. We have to see the disruptions and the disarray and corruption and the falling down of governments in order for us to really realize that, you know what, we are some beautiful, beautiful energies, and we all are some beautiful, beautiful um, humanity here. And it only takes one person. It only takes one person. It really does. In anything to make any of the changes in this world, it's all up to one person. And why can't it be you? Why can't it be me? Standing in our love, standing in our truth. Um, Many people, where uh, who've asked me if I have, and I'm like, no. They've asked me how far I'd go, and I said they'd probably have to drag me out of my home, you know, um, because I just, in my heart, in my soul, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. And that's why with a lot that's, coming out too is when it has to do with the things that they're trying to promote on children. That's wrong. That's wrong. About sexual identity and all of this. It's just disgusting. I'll say it. It is. It's disgusting. A child does not know. Like man, at 15, I didn't know who the hell I was. But that's all part of this evolution of change, this evolution of coming forward and saying no, no, this is wrong, because we're here, especially the women. We're here as protectors of this earth. We're here as protectors of our children, and we are the teachers. And when it comes to this feminine energy, the Venus energy, we have to stand in our truth and our righteousness with this and really look at it, really look at it and say, what are they trying to normalize? And, when you see certain things are trying to be normalized and they're wrong, you have to say something. You can't stand at the side. And I know for myself, I get in trouble quite a bit. But it's for me, one of my callings is to come and stand in my light and stand in my truth. And many don't like it, but that's fine. To me, it's like, come together and let's step forward. Forgive the past and step forward. That's where we have to go. But that takes a lot of courage, because people like to reiterate the past and hold it up and make people pay over and over and over again. So over this weekend, I think some craziness has just dropped over this weekend. And it's for us to really stay strong in this and stay in our light. There is going to be a full moon coming up next week in Virgo. Mercury's going to be going retrograde. Mars is coming into its shadow. Got to stay strong out there. Got to stay strong. It's the weather's getting bad. The weather's getting bad. So when it comes to spiritual weather, some of the spiritual weather is going to start getting kind of chaotic and crazy. And so really watching your thoughts, watching, which way are you going? Are you getting pulled into the craziness and stuff? um or are you witnessing it and saying, oh my god, this is pretty fucked up? What is the other thing that I found is um Zelensky was called out for manipulating his people, but you're not going to find that in the news. um but I've said from the very start, I really think he is working for Putin. I really do. And he's just stockpiling all the shit. Just stockpiling. I've said that from the bit, but he doesn't, he likes to manipulate people. He likes to do that. He thinks he gets, it's like eating cake, he says. So he likes to do that and manipulate people. So it's that was an interesting factor to find out about him. So yeah, so more is unfolding in these coming days, and we're going to be slammed. Some of it you're not going to see. You're not going to see it on mainstream media. You're not going to. They're going to try and derail you. I'm going to say, um, with other things. Who's it? Dr. Drew was just banned from YouTube. Dr. Drew, he's very, um, like he's not crazy right wing conservative, but they banned him from their from YouTube. So he's over on Rumble right now. And and they want to pull his licensing as a doctor. He's been around for a long time. So that's interesting too. So they're still trying to take away people coming out with truth. There is also quite a few big astrologers that I know are being watched right now by the FBI, and some of their stuff gets censored automatically. So there's some astrologers that are being censored. They're going after anybody who's really spiritual. Speaking of the truth, coming out with truth and light are really huge. Um, where they're not wanting you to say your truth, not wanting you to pull out the astrology and say, hey, Saturn's coming into a square with with Uranus again. Best you guys hang on, because that's going to be a big one in October, and it's almost exact. I think it's 30 minutes apart from being exact, but it's pretty damn close. I think if something's not really exact, it can be a little bit more chaotic. So with a Saturn square Uranus, that's gnarly. That's pretty gnarly energy that's going to be coming in, along with an opposition with Neptune, with Mercury. So a lot more coming in to sway you and into a place of great fear, and let you, think that everything's, hunky dory and there's no inflation. So step in your truth, people. Step in your truth. Going to tell you even again, I'm going to warn people again, start stocking up. Honestly, I used to say a month's supply. Now we're looking at 3 to 6 months supply with items and the things that you like. So if you're in the Alberta, BC area, I know Save on Foods has a sale on. I think Walmart is having some sales. So case lot sales are going to be coming up in the next little while because kids are back to school. Start looking at some of those case lot sales. Start getting some of the things that you may be needing with that, and onwards and upwards, people. It's going to get a little bit crazier, especially when it comes to everything. It comes to everything, it's going to get crazier. So if you're wanting to book a reading, definitely get a hold of me. And if you are looking at a new moon or full moon reading, I do have a special for six moon readings. Woo! For $150. So if you're wanting 6 of them, or they're $25 a piece, and you'll get them all the way up till, what do we got? September, October, November, December. So I'll take you right into December, I think. I got to think in my head. October to November. Yeah, I'll take you all the way into December. So if you're wanting to get the mini moon readings, and they're personal readings right for you, really help to get you to look at things and just sort of be more aware of what's happening within your own chart. So looking at that. So let me take a look if there's anything else. Yeah, fast events. things unraveling. Oh, we have the Eris squared Pluto, Saturn squared Uranus, both coming back. It's control versus freedom. That's what we're witnessing. Individuals versus state. And we're seeing that the backdrops are very dominant, and that's coming up. It's going to be really, we're going to be feeling that over the next week, and as we build up to that full moon. And the moon, I think, is going to trigger some of the Saturn Uranus square. Yeah, I'm going to come out with more. This is, a lot of my notes coming in with the the full moon that's coming in. I'm going to say that, even though that we've had this crazy heat wave, I'm going to call out for flooding. A lot of flooding is going to be coming in. Rain, of course, will be welcome in some of the severe drought areas in the United States and Europe, but rain coming too quickly, the land is hard and dry, and the rain can run off. So I feel like there's going to be some flooding that's going to be coming out. With that could be flooding of emotions as well. So a lot of flooding of emotions. People are just will become very irrational. But with that, we can have a source of refined spiritual, creative, artistic state. So if you do anything artistic, if you're a painter, if you crochet, if you make quilts, paper mache, whatever it is, the artistic energy is going to be there as well. So if you're feeling overly frustrated, put your energy into some crafting with the energies coming in. And especially with, I'm going back to that Mars and Gemini. I mean, that's for the next 7 months until March of 2023, March 25th of 2023. So this is where this is this is rallying up the troops. Let's get going. They were talking about bringing in the draft never went away, but they're talking about bringing back the draft. I mean, Britain is rallying up the troops, telling people to prepare your loved ones and prepare your family. So we have that resurgence of energy of war of, this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be having that. It's very active, the mind. So it's a very mental thing. When it comes to Mars and Jupiter, or Mars and Gemini, it's very mental. That's why we have to keep on dropping back down to our heart, coming back to our breath work. So important here. And using our discrimination. So with the sun in Virgo, it's really to step back and say, know your truth, know what is true. And with any of the new information, is this true? Does this fit right for me? And the only way to know it is if you really hold it into your heart. Is this the true way that I need to go? Is this leading me to where I need to go? And it will be extremely important to be discerning with this as energy is coming in, because you're going to be feeling scattered and overwhelmed and feeling uncentered. This can bring, especially with a lot of mutable energy that we're going to be in for a while. So sorry for yawning. Early mornings. So yeah, some of my loves with this Labor Day weekend. We're entering into if you want to do some really cool manifesting, we're entering into this 9-month cycle. And within this next 9 months of creation, to not be afraid. So I'm just reading from my notes here, to make the changes and actions in the orientation. So this is really a manifestation. So if you look at what you're living through right now, and what's happening and unfolding in your life. Go back 9 months. I always say it's really good to keep, a journal. So if you go back 9 months and see where was I 9 months ago, right? And so we're going back to December and going into from December to January. Well, Venus was retrograde and Venus was in Capricorn. So, this is like, okay, now we're coming into where with Venus being the only one forward. So taking that energy of saying, what was I wanting to create? What was I wanting to do? And taking that, sort of look at, okay, this is where I've come with this energy. Where do I want to put more energy into the future? I know I'm kind of all over the place, people, so bear with me so much. um and look at where you want to have that orientation, right? So this is like a good move. This is a good moment. So like in preparation, looking at what you want to manifest so we can go back to what you want to create, getting into anything artistic or anything like that again. That's going to help you to really focus on what it is that you would like to be creating more of, and having the willingness to change. So it's the willingness to change with all of this, because it's the yod can be very inspirational with Venus coming off this yod. But it, as I said, it could be used for great inspiration. um Biden could have come out instead of having red and black, very Scorpio, eh? He could have come in and really wanting to bring the people together at this time, which would have been more of a positive thing than trying to bring in separation within the world. That's the thing. So you can get into the real crazy separations, or you can come into bringing in, where do you want to create, what do you want to create. And it's it's really following your heart energy with all of this. So much happening, so much happening right now. It's some things that are unfolding. I never thought it would actually unfold the way it's unfolding. um but I've always, some of my crazy predictions and seeing things, coming to fruition is kind of nutty. So, but let's step forward into the love and light. So there you guys have it on a Friday night. So we'll see if this gets banned or not, because I know there a lot of astrologers are getting dinged right now. For coming out, or even intuitives and stuff are being dinged. And if you're speaking out against the narrative, and it's just about going to get crazier. So sending you out Godspeed, and may bringing you the blessings of the God and the Goddess to come down and guide you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do, and be that shining light. Don't let anybody stop you. And we'll hopefully talk to you all soon. Blessed be. Bye bye.